Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we're going to talk to a career switcher, at least a little bit, going from principal at Phoebus High School to football coach at rival Bethel High School. Mr. Beverley, welcome.
Good morning.
William Beverley. I'm so in the principal mode. I'm used to you as a principal. It's like you don't even have a first name.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you can call me coach now.
So I can call you coach.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I just think yours is a really interesting story because you have changed your career path. In a whole lot of ways you haven't. It's still education, it's still kids, but to go from the administrator, the high profile, the high salary,
yes, ma'am,
to coach again, how does that feel for you?
Well, it actually feels, it's an awesome feeling, and it's kind of gone full circle. People that genuinely know me well know that this is not my first time changing careers. I started off working in the social services and juvenile corrections fields.
So still with kids, but
yes,
in a different
intervention genre. Yes,
mode.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And in 1993, I began my coaching career under Dennis Kozlowski at Bethel High School. So in that capacity, there's a lot of time involved with coaching as well as working with students outside of school in the corrections field as well as social services. So I found myself lots of time ending up in court or transporting kids during the hours that we were practicing football. And while that was going on, I knew that I had such a love and enthusiasm for getting to the field that I knew I had to change careers so that I could genuinely be with the kids and help prepare them for Friday nights and also be able to work with kids in another capacity. So at that time, I decided, I was young, I didn't have any children, I was not married. I decided I would go to graduate school and begin to change my career. Mm-hmm. I had an opportunity to leave and go out to Tennessee, and I did. I had an uncle that was teaching at Middle Tennessee State at the time. I enrolled at Middle Tennessee State and then later transferred to Tennessee State, where I earned my master's degree in guidance and counseling in 1996. And so my coaching career started.
Well, let's just back up a second, because I think we should talk about your high school interest. Because really this Bruins football thing has been going on for a darn long time, right?
It has, yes, ma'am, it has. I had the opportunity to be part of the first 4 8th graders to go to Bethel High School and play football under Coach Kozlowski. I won't tell you how old I am, but you'll probably be able to guess. The first year that I went to Jeff Davis Junior High School, the school system had to eliminate middle school or junior high school athletics. Oh, geez. So, yes, ma'am. So we had a choice to either continue to play at the recreation level or go on to play at the high school level. So myself and 3 other young men, to include the mayor's son, Jason Wallace, and Carl Francis, who works for the NFLPA, and Ray Ransom, the 4 of us went up.
Oh, I know that name too.
Yes, ma'am. The 4 of us went up to the high school and we began our careers. So we played at Bethel High School for 5 years. I was fortunate to earn a scholarship to Virginia Union University, where I had an opportunity to play under Joe Taylor, who is also a legend in his own right. He was a coach at Virginia Union and Hampton University. He had a long stint at Hampton University, and currently is back at Virginia Union as the athletic director. So that's where my career with Bethel High School began. So
it was Bethel and football, right?
Yes,
there
ma'am.
From the very, very beginning.
Yes, ma'am. And just have a love for the community. I have a love for the kids. And so, here we are several years later with another opportunity to go back to Bethel and to give back and pour back into that community.
Well, now let's talk about you as a principal, because you know this, I'm not sure they do, but I got a chance to see you interact with the students a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know that you did a lot of office stuff and administration with the faculty, but you also spent a good bit of time in the hallways, at extracurricular events, sort of cheering on your students.
Yes,
you were kind of a coach even when you were a principal, is sort of my sense.
You're so right. I think if you would talk to any administrator, not only here in Hampton City Schools, but any administrator throughout the country, they would tell you that they're coaches. Not only do they have to coach students, they have to coach teachers, They have to coach parents. Anybody they come in contact with, they have to have a certain enthusiasm about themselves to get people to places that they normally couldn't go by themselves. And I'll just kind of repeat that, to get people to places where they normally could not go by themselves. And so that's what a great coach does. We're trying to get to greatness, but I've had a lot of opportunities and a lot of experiences under some of those gentlemen that I just named, that I think we'll get there when we get over to Bethel High School.
And you very much a mentor too to a lot of young men. At least that was what I saw when I was in the schools or when I saw you at events. Just you had a motto at Phoebus.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that?
And that motto has carried on from Lindsey Middle School, where I was in the capacity of principal. I use it in the athletic realm as well, and it's alignment, technique, and effort. And it's very, very simple.
It does sound like it had a sports background. I never really thought about that.
It does. It derives from athletics, and it's pretty much our pillars of success at Phoebus High School. It will be the pillars of success at Bethel High School in regards to the football program. But alignment is very simple. Students do not understand often when they come to a high school setting or to a middle school setting as a sixth grader how important it is to align themselves with good people. Generally, if you align yourself with good people, you'll make good choices because those good people are making good choices as well. And the choices that you make today will affect your future tomorrow, and generally you're going to have a bright future. So you have to be very careful with who you allow to influence you. Who you allow to influence you generally going to help dictate your path. So alignment is the first pillar, and it's very important. The second one is technique. So many situations that we come into, even when you're here in the community down and a lot of things that are going on with police and community, so many things can be resolved or de-escalated by technique. Something as simple as saying, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, Mr. Officer. Yes, ma'am, Mr. Beverley. Yes, sir, Mr. Beverley. Those type of things, just how you go about doing your business.
Right.
Technique is extremely important. And we try to express to our kids how important it is to be positive, to have a certain enthusiasm about them, and to treat adults and anyone that you're dealing with a certain respect. So technique is how you go about doing what it is that you do. And lastly, effort. I tell our students, the teachers can't work harder than you. You have to work harder than the teachers if you expect to be successful. Your future depends on it. So, we tell our students to prepare themselves, make sure that they understand what's at stake, and no one can put the effort there for you. You have to want it, and you have to want it more than anybody that's in that room.
And so true in sports, too. Academics and sports.
They're two in the same. They're two in the same. Yes, ma'am.
So in terms of your philosophy and your life and working with kids and mentoring and coaching, it's not a big transition to go from principal to coach.
No, ma'am. What I think it is, we're at a point, and I say I'll kind of digress, and my wife and I, it was a decision that we had to make in our household. We're at a point in my career where we had to make a decision. I've paralleled my coaching career with my academic career as an administrator and as an educator as well. And at a certain point, I had to decide, was I going to make coaching my primary job?
It doesn't pay as well,
at
least on a high school level. A principal makes a few more dollars than your coaching job.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
they do.
Yeah, that would be a tough choice.
They do. And
you've got 2 kids?
I do. I actually have 3 kids.
Oh, 3 kids, okay.
I have an older son who is well on his way, and I have 2 others that are in school. And but I never, when I sought out my first career, money was never a motivator. It was never a motivator for me. I always wanted to work with kids. I always wanted to coach, and so those were my motivating factors. I don't see myself as just an educator. I see myself as a coach, and so at a certain point, I had to decide, what would I get up and do every day?
What kind of coaching? What type of coaching is what motivates you? And it's football?
Football. And the decision was very easy for me. I also have a background in counseling. And I'm always telling students, every opportunity I get, to follow your dreams. Put it on paper. Think about it. Your dreams, your visions should keep you up at night. And the things that keep me up at night is thinking about football, thinking about how we can do things better, thinking about how we can get kids to the next level, and not only play football at the next level, but use football as a conduit to get those students to college. And that light hopefully comes on and they understand the importance of education.
You know, there's so much research that having any high school activity is part of what keeps kids motivated and excited and keeps them learning. And sports, you know, the regulations are such that they have to maintain a GPA. They have to stay in school. Ma'am. Sometimes, even if they're not going to get the college scholarship, it helps them get through high school, find a passion, and they go on to college.
Yes, ma'am.
Either in sports or in something else.
And the majority of the programs in this area will carry close to 100 kids on their roster between JV and varsity. Maybe one of those kids, maybe two of them each year will get an athletic scholarship. Mm-hmm. The rest of them will have to go to school and do something other than play football. They'll have to walk on or in some capacity.
Or go to a Division II
or go to
team or
Division II
smaller,
school.
right.
But if they have the academics,
discipline.
And the discipline that comes along with preparing throughout those years, on the football field, in the weight room, in the classroom, everything that it takes to be eligible and to be successful, if they're doing those things out there and they're doing them under the auspices of great coaches, which I have a great group that's around me right now, then they're going to be successful not only in football, but they'll be successful in life because the two they're the same thing. You know, everything that it takes to be successful, not only in the corporate America, your job and my job, those same things are the things that is needed to be successful on the football field as well. So I just think it's very important. I'm at a point in my career where I woke up one morning and I said, what would I do, as I tell students, that someone would not have to pay me for, but I would do it with a certain enthusiasm. I keep going back to enthusiasm. Yeah. And that I would do for free for the rest of my life. And it's coaching. So that's what led me to that decision. And I hope to coach at the college level in the near future.
Well, see, that's what I was going to ask. First question,
ma'am.
though, is if the head coaching opportunity had been at a different school, not Bethel, would it have been as much of a no-brainer for you as this one was? Or was it
maybe not
choice?
as much as a no-brainer? Maybe it's not as much of a no-brainer, but I've been contemplating this for the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am, and that was another driving force. I've seen so many openings in the last few years here
Phoebus
in the peninsula. Phoebus and Minchville and Warwick, several times, just different schools in the areas. And I said, maybe this is an opportunity for me. And then when the Bethel position came open, I said, well, I'm going to throw my name in there. I'm going to interview. And if it's for me, it'll happen. Mm-hmm. And it worked itself out. So we're excited. We're already working. The kids are there. We're working out in the morning. We've got over 30 kids that are coming at 6 o'clock in the morning for what we call the breakfast club before school to work out.
Yeah, that's discipline.
Because they're so excited. Exactly. Wow. Just like a job. And they go and they shower and they're ready for school. And so am I.
You always have a smile on your face.
Thank
you know what? I have just realized you always are like that. And I've seen you early in the morning, and I've seen you late at night at school board meetings.
Yes, ma'am.
You talk about kids writing down their dreams and thinking about their dreams. Then tell us your dreams.
Well, my dream is in the next 10 years, I would like to be on someone's sideline in the NFL. I know that when I don't share my dreams with everybody. I think I just did. Because
now you did, right?
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes you realize that everyone is not for you. But I feel like, okay, if I've been coaching students for the last 16 years as an administrator, I was appointed an assistant principal in 1999 in Tennessee. And I've had a degree of success in the last 16 years, and I've helped a lot of students get to where they wanted to go, whether it be to college, whether it be in their careers, military, and those type of things. And I figured if I put that same energy into coaching, what would happen? And so the only way for me to find out is to put that energy into it. I'm still fairly young. I've been blessed with a certain degree of health. And so I feel like, in the next 10 years, if things line themselves up, I'll have an opportunity to not only help other students, but to also move my career on as well. So those are my dreams and those are my goals.
Well, good luck. And
Yes, ma'am.
congratulations on making this change. I think, you seem real comfortable about it. Every time I think about it, change is scary for a lot of people.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I made a huge career change from the newspaper to the city and to being on TV, which is completely foreign to me. But it can also be really exciting
It is. It's probably one of the most exciting things that I've done outside of marrying my wife.
Thank you for, yeah, it's good.
It has been. But I believe I believe in God. I believe He has a plan for me. My wife is a broker for Farmers Insurance, so she told me she'll put me to work. As well as I truly expect to be employed with Hampton City Schools. Dr. Woods and Dr. Shiflett have been extremely supportive of me as I've been transitioning. So I expect to be still employed with Hampton City Schools in some capacity next year. So those things are going to take care of themselves.
Right.
We'll tighten up our belts a little bit, at home.
It's not like you'll be working fewer hours. You'll probably be working
more.
just as much.
We'll be working more. We'll be working more. But when you're doing things, that you're loving, on that level, time goes by so fast. You don't realize that you're working. When we're, as I speak right now, we're getting up and we're there working at 6 o'clock, and often, I'm not home till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. But when I get there, I'm fine because I don't feel it. The time has gone by so fast. And, you've been around positive people all day. You've been around people that really care about what's going on in their lives. And youth keeps you young. You go around young people and you stay around them, they will keep you young. They will keep you enthusiastic. They will keep you, having a certain energy about yourself. So, that's another motivator for me.
Well, good. And good luck. I hate to say this, but, good luck to the Bruins football team. I might have a little conflict when you guys play Phoebus.
Yes,
but,
ma'am.
Actually, you're not in the way the conferences and divisions have all changed. It's not as direct.
No, it isn't as direct. We'll be Division 5, they'll be Division 3, but we play them the second week of the season.
Okay.
And I've told the kids there to take it easy on Coach Beverley. So we'll see how that works out.
Have fun.
Yes,
have
ma'am.
fun and good luck in your new endeavor. And I have this idea that, if the NFL thing doesn't work out, you could be a motivational speaker. You really are inspirational.
And thank you for segueing to that. My wife and I are actually underway of putting up a website where I'm going to be doing some motivation speaking. I've done a lot of that in the past. That's going to be another item that we're working on. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy talking to young people. So thank you. And that website and that information will be coming soon.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
good luck in that career as well.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't just do one thing, can you?
No. I'll tell you what. I'm excited. I'm trying to stay still in your chair right now. But
it's hard. I know.
There's a certain level of energy and excitement right now, and that just motivates me. And hopefully that continue to motivate the people that I'm around.
I think it will. I feel inspired every time I'm around
yes,
here,
ma'am.
So it's a good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by, and good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I hope you are motivated and you will stay tuned for Bethel football this fall. Thanks for watching.